if you ever get a crack on your windshield, there are crack healers. Oh, that doesn't sound right.
Welcome to No Ordinary Friendship.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Teresa.
Let's catch up.
Welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Episode 48.
Yes, and we are in the midst of the Olympics.
Woohoo!
Breaking news in honor of the Olympics, Teresa.
What did you do?
I worked out 1.5 times this week.
1.5?
So I restarted my mirror subscription.
Okay.
And I did like one Pilates.
I didn't even know that it ended, Emily.
Well, I stopped it because I kept being like, ugh, I have to pay monthly and I'm probably not going to use it.
Right.
But this week I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start. And I did one class. And then yesterday I was trying to do another class. And then like Waffle came up and like threw up water next to me. So I paused it. And then the school called and I had to go pick up Cassie.
And so you never went back.
Yeah, I only got through half of that one.
Good for you.
But it was a Pilates and then a bar class.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Wait, you can do a bar without a bar? Or use
just a chair, yeah.
Not bad.
I didn't even get to the chair
Back to
part.
our roots.
Yes.
Bar method roots.
Yes.
That was not where I expected you to go. I thought you were going to be like, I made red, white, and blue cupcakes.
Well, no DIY.
Good job.
But are you proud of me? We're only like almost into August today, but like my New Year's resolution is coming true.
No, I like that because mine was like movement every day or something. Here I am, not moving.
You're moving in little ways, like up and down the stairs.
Very, very little. Okay, but let's talk about the Olympics.
Okay.
What are we, almost halfway through?
Yeah, I think we're 1.5 weeks.
Oh, by the time this episode drops. Yeah.
Oh, by the time this episode drops, it might be done, right?
Yes, it'll definitely be done. Wait, has it already been over a week?
Isn't it only 2 weeks?
I know, but
When was the
Thursday,
opening?
Friday.
Oh, last Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. Only a week.
Oh, God. I got really confused.
I just, in my head, I was like, it started last week, so it's been like over almost 2 weeks.
How are you feeling? Are you watching?
I watched here and there. Like sometimes at dinner, we put it on. We watched the women's gymnastics.
So
team
freaking
and some
amazing.
swimming.
Yeah, which is whatever's on, right?
Secretly, I really like synchronized swimming, but I haven't seen it broadcasted.
I think you have to go search for that.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, you know what? It's on TikTok.
It's an underappreciated art for sure.
I just don't know how you get into something like that because you really do have to be such a strong swimmer.
Yes.
And so where do you go from like, oh, I don't like.
Just think about us.
I want to be artistic.
Like, I can't even do anything and stay still in the pool. They look so graceful.
Egg beaters.
Egg beaters.
Right?
The
Isn't that
hands
what
or
water
something?
polo people do? But I feel like it's way harder for the synchronized swimming folks to do their routine.
Yeah, and they're like upside down all the time. I have no idea
Holding
how
their
they do it.
breath. I've been watching. Okay, so at first, did you watch the opening ceremony?
I watched bits and pieces.
Right, like we were kind of creeped out by that video.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after that, I was getting really frustrated because I wasn't watching anything because of kids.
Yeah.
But I do have Peacock. Shout out to Peacock. And one day when they were all down, luckily the women's gymnastics was on and it got really interesting. I felt like I knew about all of their life stories. And then I
I know
started.
it's very inspiring, actually.
It's very inspiring. I didn't know all that stuff about Suni and her chronic illness.
Disease or something.
Her body, she gained 45 pounds in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? Because of the
Can't
water
imagine.
retention that happens with the meds that she was on.
Yeah.
And to come back after they
Yeah.
said she might not be able to ever do gymnastics again.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just regurgitating like all the heartfelt stories.
Okay, but side note, if you watch it on YouTube TV, I don't know how he did it, but Victor put it so there were 4 little rectangles on your screen. So you could watch like multiple sports at once and then decide which one you wanted to listen to the commentary.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I didn't
so that felt like multitasking to the max.
But when I was watching gymnastics, Snoop Dogg was on a lot.
In the audience?
But they kept like, the commentators kept talking about him and then the camera people kept panning to him.
What is he doing?
He's like the ambassador for the Olympics.
Interesting.
No, I'm serious.
I know. I saw he was holding the torch or whatever, but
apparently they hired him after record-breaking low viewership for Tokyo, which is probably kind of
turn it around
because it was like COVID and all that.
Yeah.
But he is a ball of weird positive energy, I have to say.
You know what I think about when I think of Snoop Dogg? I'm like, really? Do we anybody need to follow like a diet or healthy lifestyle? Because he's living his best life, and we know like he does not live a healthy lifestyle, right?
But you know what? He's rich.
Sipping on gin and juice, like that is not healthy. The doctor did not prescribe that.
But I feel like when you're rich, you can just do a lot more wellness things after that.
Probably, you're right.
Reverse.
You're right. We don't know about all the other stuff.
And apparently he has a whole persona where he's like a grandfather and or
Oh,
Poppy
I can
or
see that
something.
because he's best friends with Martha Stewart.
It's just so random.
I know.
Okay, one last thing I want to say is I'm really enjoying TikTok behind the scenes.
Oh,
A lot. Are you getting this in your algorithm?
not too much.
So it's a lot of athletes that are like posting about certain things. Like
I
their
saw the cardboard
dorms.
beds.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're called dorms, but like their beds, the food, and just a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that you don't normally get to see. But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, I don't even know who these athletes are.
I know.
Like they're
same.
definitely an Olympian, but I don't really care, I guess.
We
because
don't
they're
know until like this week.
or they're like in some really niche sport that
yeah.
no one knows about.
We do have to give a moment to that guy Steve, who was like part of the men's gymnastics.
Oh, the Superman guy?
Yeah, he's so lovable.
I don't know anything about him besides the
Me
fact that
Except he like clinched the win, and
He did.
He like ended their however many year
since
drought.
2008?
I don't know,
I don't know. We didn't pay attention to that.
but he did it.
Good for him. Did your girls watch the Olympics?
I tried to get them to watch it, and then every time after a bit, Charlie's like, "This is boring," and it's so sad because Victor was like trying to show them that women can be really good athletes, and they were not into it.
And they were like,
didn't
duh,
care.
we already know
Yeah,
this.
Charlie's like, I already know how to do that.
Yeah.
That's like her most famous line.
Oh, another great trend that's happening right now is I'm sad to announce that.
Oh, yeah.
the
I've
Paris.
seen those.
Those are the best listeners. It's like where someone is showing off their
Gymnastics,
usually,
right?
Yeah, gymnastics or diving, whatever, like their fails.
Yeah, like I didn't make it into the 2024 Olympics.
I love it.
There were some good ones. Okay, this is a downer, but my pet license gripe. I don't know if I've mentioned to you, but like San Mateo County requires you to pay like this random pet license fee.
I have no idea what a pet license is.
I don't either. I've never heard of it, but I think like something when I went to take Waffle to get like her rabies vaccine must have triggered into the system because they sent me this thing and I've like already lived in San Mateo a little bit.
Right.
So I was like, where is this coming from? Is it a scam? But I looked it up and I guess it's legit. But I'm like, what am I paying for?
Wait, but so what is it? Is it like a driver's license? But for
I
your
don't know.
pet?
You just have to pay if you have a dog or a cat in San Mateo County. But I'm like, for what? Like, what service are you providing or what am I licensing her for?
Are they like tracking and monitoring? Like
I
some
don't
kind of
know.
admin
So
fee?
I know this is very like anal of me, but I think I'm going to call and ask and just be like, what is this for? Is this required? Like, do I have to pay it?
You should put this in the pricing game too.
But I already told you how much it was.
No, you didn't.
I did. Oh, you didn't hear?
Oh, I didn't hear.
Okay. Well, shall we move on to the pricing game?
Well, tell me more because is that just San Mateo?
it says San Mateo County.
But do they have that in other counties or other states?
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
And I'm just like, you can't just make up this thing to collect money from
the
me.
government, yes, they can.
But like, why?
I know. Well, you're call it.
You're
ask.
charging me to have a pet since when?
Yeah. And what about like fish?
Maybe
and
it's
frogs?
for the poop bags.
Oh, like around the community.
Yeah. If that's the case, I'll pay because I use a lot of those.
Well, you have that just for free out when you're.
In our little park where I take Waffle for a walk, there's like a poop bag thing. And yeah. Okay. If that's what it's for, I'm okay with it.
All that anger just dissipated.
Yeah.
You're reasonable.
It's because I just didn't understand. Like,
I understand.
Why are you charging me for this?
Wait, so how much is it?
How much do you think?
Is it annual or monthly?
It's annual. Or you can do a 3-year, but okay, it's too long for me to get into it because it's really dumb how they handle it. But guess how much it is for 1 year?
$40.
No.
Lower or higher?
Lower.
20.
25.
Still ridiculous.
But that's, also if they're not spayed or neutered, it's way more.
Oh, okay.
So since she is, it's 25.
And if they're not, then 150?
It was like 80 or something for 1 year.
Still such a weird
I know.
fine to impose.
I know.
And
kind of
again,
government is
what if
this?
you have a bird or a snake? Are they under the same?
Those aren't exempt, I think.
They're not using poop bags.
These are cats, though.
Okay, let's dive into the pricing game. I put so many on here.
I know you did.
It'll be quick, though. It'll be rapid
You're
fire.
in a house state of mind.
It'll be rapid fire. Okay, so painting a room.
like one wall or all the walls?
All the walls, but there's all the walls. A darker color, whatever.
2,500.
Okay, well, now my thing just seems ridiculous. 2,500 for one room?
I don't know, because you put it on here. I think it's ridiculous. You said I was ridiculous for thinking Taylor Swift tickets were 500.
Okay, well, that is ridiculous.
1,000.
Close. It's around 800 to 900.
Oh, okay.
But my ceilings are kind of high. I don't think that's the norm. But I did get 2 quotes, and they were consistent.
Okay.
I thought that was
Clearly I have
ridiculous.
no idea how much.
One room.
I mean, I don't know what's normal now.
I know it doesn't happen very often, right? So we wouldn't know. What
Although,
okay, this is an interesting one.
Okay.
Probably to no one else but me. But to wallpaper we have wallpaper
walls.
right behind us. No, just one wall. This wall.
Okay. 500.
And no, so you have to take off the wallpaper and put new wallpaper paint on.
500.
No, it was closer to $1,500-$1,600 for one wall.
It's more to do that than to paint.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more work because you have to take this off.
To make it super smooth,
prep
right?
it. Yeah, there's a lot of more prepping involved because of the glue.
Interesting.
But who knew? And they have to cut the wallpaper.
I did our DIY wallpaper in Playa Vista for very cheap. Because it was just like a stick-on one.
Yeah.
But I thought it looked great.
I'm sure. I bet it did. And I was telling my new tenant, I was like, you should just use the stick-on. They looked at me all appalled. But I don't think they understand the market. They don't understand.
But they're willing to pay for all this?
Yes, for the wallpaper. Because I was like, I don't want to spend money doing this.
Yeah.
But for painting, I told them I would. Okay, this is too much information.
Okay.
Replacing a windshield, like a car windshield on a Tesla.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
I have no idea. 600.
No, higher.
1,000.
Yeah, just about. Yeah. So
just drive with no windshield, I guess.
I was driving behind a truck coming back from Napa on my little date to myself, and a bunch of rocks freaking fell off that truck. And so at first it was just like chip, chip, chip.
Yeah.
And then before I was able to merge into the next lane, a big one came at me.
Oh my gosh.
And then it continued to crack.
Yeah.
Luckily it stopped, but we have to replace the windshield. My mom is on me about that.
And does insurance not cover any of it?
They have a deductible of about 1,000.
Oh,
and I think your rates will go up, so it may not make sense.
You might as
to
well
claim.
just pay it. Mm-hmm. Ugh, bummer.
I was surprised at that price too.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
Everything is crazy these days.
By the way, if you ever get a crack on your windshield, there are crack healers. Oh, that doesn't sound right. he contacted me. He was like, "Oh, I can actually
I'm a
help."
healer.
We just do some chakra,
Sage,
some crystals. No, he's able to make it like 85% to 90% better from different angles, and
interesting.
It makes it safer and it helps. Because the problem with the crack right now is like if the sun reflects on a certain way, it's actually very blinding.
Oh.
And so it's able to help with that as well. It's way cheaper. So if you ever need to like not replace
but you're not
the windshield,
going that route.
Well, it's kind of like
not
right
able to
in the
be
middle.
healed.
Yeah. It has to be under 2 feet.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah. I'm just spitting out knowledge over here for you. Okay. My last one is a built-in microwave.
You told me before, or you mentioned.
Yes. So for context,
Was it back ordered or something?
It's a Thermador brand.
That sounds fancy already.
I think it's like middle of the road. Middle of the road fancy, but not like crazy fancy. And it's a built-in, it broke within 10 years, I think. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm looking for a replacement, but it has a custom trim.
Oh.
So it has to be like that
my
exact
gosh.
size. And that brand, obviously.
2,000.
Yeah. Which is
good at this game.
You are okay at this game. Actually, you're right in the middle because they have only 2. They have one that's 1,500, terrible reviews. And then they have another like 2,500 one that's also terrible reviews. I'm like, why am I paying for 2 microwaves? That would be
Is there
terrible.
any other option?
So I'm trying to figure that out now. We might just have to get a brand new trim or something.
Oh.
Or I read on the Reddit forums that other people have this problem and they don't want to pay. There's like a Panasonic
That
microwave that supposedly fits perfectly, but I need to measure it out.
Interesting.
I think
good old Reddit.
Good old Reddit. Thank you, Reddit. Okay, I'm done with all my gripes to the pricing game.
Okay, I only had one this week. So a few weeks ago or a month ago, Charlie had to go in. And I guess for kids nowadays, if they see you're starting to form some tooth decay or cavities, instead of like doing a filling right away, they can apply some sort of medication that's supposed to like kill the bacteria. And actually kind of turns their teeth like gray or black. But it's like mostly all in the back, so it's not a big deal. But basically we went in, it was like, she was crying, which made it annoying, but it's like a very fast procedure actually. Like they just apply it with like a little paintbrush.
Oh, okay.
It was probably like 5 minutes to do this.
And how long
procedure.
does it last?
I don't know. I think they're just trying to get them to their adult teeth at this point because she's 5.
Oh, right.
And you know how like they're going to lose all their teeth.
Yeah.
So each tooth, I think they did on 6 teeth.
Oh,
guess how much they charged per application, which literally is like, imagine you paint something twice like this.
Does insurance cover this at all? Like under the
Apparently
format?
ours doesn't.
Gosh, I'm nervous. Dentists.
I mean, I just didn't think, it's not crazy, but just think about like the amount of effort and the amount of stuff used.
Right. Okay.
Per tooth, how much?
$50 per tooth.
Very close. $63.
Scam.
6.
I mean, you have no choice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you did have a choice, but
Let it run.
that's annoying.
So, yes, that's my pricing game gripe of the day.
Good to know that that's an option, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it tastes really bad too. So she kept like kind of like moving and he was like, the more you move, like you're going to taste it. She was crying and I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to throw up, like my fear. Anyway, let's move to pop culture.
Okay. Do we want to talk about Alison Chao again?
I guess there were some big updates that came out, and it's still hard to know who to believe because there's like stories on both sides, right?
Are there?
So the dad got arrested.
Yes.
For attempted abduction of a child. So I guess they think that he aided her in trying to get away because the mom had just been awarded full custody or something. And then the mom came out saying that like he brainwashed her to say these things against her, and he's had mental health issues where he has to take medication.
Oh, wow.
But for the most part, I think people are still on the dad and Allison's side.
It seems like Alison wants to be with her dad way more than her mom, and that's telling, right? And she seems to be of sound mind.
Last week when we talked, I don't think we knew that she had been arrested before, right? Allison had made claims that she and the grandfather, like sexually abused.
Yeah.
And the dad even made police claims that like she hit Allison before.
Right.
I forget if we talked about this.
No,
already.
I don't think we have. That was a huge revelation that came out of this. And
yeah, because she had just been found when we talked, right?
And then I feel like it just kind of snowballed from there. I haven't been able to keep up because there's so many stories and updates out now.
Yeah. And she's in foster care, I think.
And it's all confidential, right? Like the location.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You said her mom was granted full custody?
I think I was reading like they're going through like a divorce and she had just been granted full custody, which is why she was going to have Allison put in that mental facility.
Okay.
But I'm like, why do you want full custody just to put her in a mental facility? Seems like you don't want her.
So sad. You know what I did see? The paternal grandmother.
Oh, yeah. She said something like, we don't have money, but we love you or something. Is that the part you saw?
No, I saw the one where she was just like, I think her heart just aches for Allison. Yeah. And she was like, oh, grandma, you have to like wait for me. Like you told me you're going to take me to Taiwan and we're going to eat beef noodle soup.
Oh.
And I think that just made her.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was so
this poor child.
Sadly touching.
And I think I also saw maybe on TikTok or something that supposedly the person who turned her into the police really regrets it. Because she's like, oh, if I hadn't, she would have gone to the news station and been able to like tell her story. Because we haven't heard from her at all, right? Directly.
Right.
And I guess she thought she was doing the right thing. Because she's like, oh, this missing person, I found them. So she called the police.
Right. Yeah. But they're like, oh, I don't want the mom to worry.
Yeah. Oh, sigh.
I'm glad it's getting a lot of media attention, though. Because
hopefully there's a good outcome for her.
At least maybe the public will hold the system accountable.
Yes. Sounds like it.
Although it sounds very complex. I don't quite
I know.
understand.
It sounds like Annie's, the mother's family, has like a chokehold on Monterey Park or something. Like they're controlling all the pieces.
I can see that, honestly.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, Ballerina Farm.
Yes. Have you seen this? Because it's like everywhere.
It's weird.
I didn't read, there was a Times article, listeners, about Ballerina Farm, which is like a very popular TikTok account. I think they have like 1.7 million followers.
Yeah, a lot.
But it's basically about a family that lives like on a farm. They're Mormon. They have like 8 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned that the husband's dad owns JetBlue.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
So they're not like
not at
normal
all
farmers. And then I guess there was controversy after the New York Times because the Times portrayed it like she's kind of like been forced into this lifestyle against her will. She was like a dancer.
Yeah.
She went to Juilliard.
Right. Wait, was this New York Times or was it The Times?
Oh, I don't know. Did I mess it up?
Well,
What's the Times?
I don't know. I don't think it's as prestigious as New York, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe
Okay.
this is apology and corrections for later.
Yes, we'll figure it out later. It was something Times.
Yes. Yeah. And it was like, oh, she is being held against her will. She's suffering. And
Yeah,
like,
she's so depressed. She can't get out of bed for a week.
right. And so that was definitely how the journalist portrayed it.
Yeah.
She's very much like a trad wife. All her content on TikTok is making
Stuff
food
from
out of scratch. Yeah. And
Supposedly they don't have any childcare help because he doesn't want it.
which is
Dumb.
yeah, exactly. And I think they're probably all homeschooled right now. I don't know if I
wow.
read that. Half of them are still pretty young. They probably wouldn't go to school anyway, but the
Yeah.
other half would.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think people definitely drew a lot of lines of comparison or not lines of comparison, but they drew the line to her attending Juilliard and
Yeah.
kind of being snatched away from that life because she was
Yeah.
going to be a professional ballerina.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what she was working towards.
But then I saw people say like that reporter definitely,
Was biased.
yeah, like kind of warped their words or whatever. And they played clips where she said like, oh yeah, he said before you could be a dancer if you want. And like,
Oh, interesting.
she wanted to be the mom. And I don't know, as long as she's happy, like we should
Right.
all just mind our own business.
Right.
But they've definitely made it into this huge thing where they're like, oh, he doesn't support her.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what to believe.
I don't know what to believe either because some people are like, oh, Ballerina Farm is kind of behind this. Like any news or any press is good
True,
press.
yeah.
And they just want TikTok followers.
Yeah. Well, and also I think like don't feel so bad for them because they're billionaires.
Yeah.
They're not going to show you all that. Maybe they don't have specifically child support. I'm sure they have plenty of other support.
Totally.
Because
yeah.
if you have 8 kids at home with you all the time, you don't have time to make TikTok material.
Totally. And
You
she's
don't
making
have time to make stuff from scratch.
literally everything from scratch, like pasta. Yeah. They own a meat farm, right? Which is,
I don't know.
You can like order meat from their ballerina
cool.
farm. And it's just weird. I don't know
Yeah.
who to believe, but I think
It's so annoying
Mormonism-
that these days we just don't know who to believe in
More-
like every aspect of life.
And I think also like it's deeply, the way she lives is also deeply rooted in Mormonism.
Yeah.
So that's just a whole nother world that a lot of people outside don't understand
Yeah.
too.
Just hope she's happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids is a lot.
It is.
But like you said, they're brilliant.
Of anyone to like have 8 kids, they should.
It was funny to see that TikTok reversal very quickly after, because at first everyone's like, oh my God, I feel so bad for
Yeah,
her. She's
yeah.
depressed. And then other people were like, a week later, like, oh, well, the journalist is so
sleuthing.
biased.
Yeah, that's true. The journalist maybe wanted to make a splash.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this was kind of a nice story. What do I do?
And she did. But did you see that part about the epidural?
No.
Okay, so she didn't have an epidural with any of her kids except one.
Oh.
And in that one, the commentary from her, what is her name?
I don't know. Ballerina?
She was saying how because her husband wasn't in the room, she got an epidural and it was like magical or something
so
like
he
that.
wouldn't let her?
I don't know if he wouldn't let her. Maybe maybe.
It
Like
does sound a little like
Like
he has the upper hand.
for sure. And like if he were in the room, he probably would have coached her through it.
I see.
But it's like, give the girl an epidural if
Yes.
she wants one.
Every pregnancy should
Yeah,
have
like
one.
why does she have to suffer if we have modern
Also,
medicine?
supposedly, like, he kept trying to ask her out and she said no. And so he eventually just, like, when she'd mentioned she was, like, taking a flight somewhere because they own JetBlue, he got a seat next to her. And that's, like, how they had their
Creepy.
quote-unquote first date. I
What?
know.
That is Ooh.
I know.
Your information is not safe out there, people.
Pretty sure that's a violation of something.
Okay, moving on to family and wellness.
Yes. I saw, it was probably on TikTok, a quote about a mom. Oh, here.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You do? My fiance once said, I don't need a break from the kids. I need a break from being responsible for the kids. I want to be able to just enjoy them without having to worry about taking care of all their needs. And then this is a guy posting. So he said, I create those opportunities for her when I can. It's beautiful to watch her with them when all she has to do is be with them. And that like really resonated with me because I think like part of it is our own fault, maybe, but I just feel like I feel the weight of like needing to be responsible for their well-being and like all the things that they
come
need.
with it.
Yeah, they need or want or, you know, their health, their happiness. And like, it does take away from just being able, and maybe that's why the dads are more playful.
Yeah.
Because they don't have this laundry list constantly weighing on them.
The mental load comes back to haunt us again.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like you would totally be able to let go if somebody else took on that role.
Yeah.
Or shared it more, right?
Yeah.
It's
And I'm not blaming because like, I think right now, you know, we have very defined things that we're responsible for, but like, it makes me feel so needy, but I'm always like, when are you coming home? Like, because I just
you need
feel
a
the
break.
weight
Yeah.
of like, oh, it's all on me
Just
if anything
another
happens, you know?
person there, a warm body.
Yeah.
It's like so helpful.
Yeah. So I don't know why I shared that, but
No,
it just
I think it's
resonated.
relatable. I thought you were going to share the one that was like, it was a bunch of words, but it was essentially getting at the fact that you want to be with your kids all the time, but also not.
Oh, the one I said
But
to you
also
before.
want me time. Yeah, exactly.
That
After I
too.
shared.
That too. Okay, the next one is mine too. But did you know that Botox is not immediate?
I did not. I thought it was.
either. I thought it was like,
Wait. How long does it take to be
well,
effective?
so I saw a TikTok and this woman was like, I just got Botox today. She was like quite wrinkly. And then she was like, okay, day 2. Okay, day 4. Or just like showing the progression where it was mostly like she was showing, I think, around her lips. And it was getting smoother. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize it takes potentially
5
weeks
days
or something.
Weeks?
To like have the full effect. I literally thought it was like they inject it and it gets smooth.
Wait, I thought that was the point. Because like injections are usually pretty immediate.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what that video said. And then some of the comments were like, oh, I didn't know it wasn't immediate.
Yeah. Okay, we're not alone.
Yeah.
Strange. Does that
We have to talk about Botox every episode.
does that a week isn't too bad though.
Yeah,
And it's not like you're red.
it's fine, but I just had no idea that's how Botox works.
Okay. Random.
Yes. We're finally getting to this that you've had on for a while.
I made an Amazon purchase. I actually wore it. I thought it was like a really cute, breezy, I don't know what it's called, like short overall type of thing to a 4th of July with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to wash it. And I was like, what? Dry clean only?
No.
But I bought this from Amazon. It wasn't anything from Amazon. They dry clean only. It's like a weird, it's not even just 100% linen. It's like a linen mix. So I guess you can't wash linen. I don't really own a lot of linen things.
I thought you could wash linen, but you can't dry it. If you dry it, it like shrinks up.
Like crazy.
Yeah. Maybe try it on like the delicate cycle.
Okay.
That's what I do for anything that says hand wash. I'm like, oh, delicate cycle.
I literally threw it into the corner. I was like, well, not going to be looking at this for a while. Bye forever.
It was nice knowing
See you in a couple years. I
It was like my
dry
ripped
cleaner.
Zara dress. Send it back.
Okay, that was one thing.
Honestly, though, these days, anything that requires dry cleaning, when you buy it, you should add dollars to that price tag because it's so expensive.
It's true. Like, it's not worth going to the dry cleaners either.
Add dollars and then reduce like the usefulness of it because you're not going to wear it that
so
much.
much math.
Just don't buy it, I guess.
Yeah, just don't buy it. Well, normally I wouldn't, but it was off Amazon.
Yeah, you assume Amazon stuff is like low maintenance.
Right, like cotton. Everything that should be cotton on Amazon. Or like it's probably a polyester blend. Okay, I bought new blush.
Okay.
It's Patrick Ta.
I've heard of him.
You have?
Yeah.
Have you heard of his blush?
No.
So it's a compact.
Is it amazing?
I don't know because I don't know if I really know how to use it.
Okay.
But it's a compact and you open up and there's 2 sections. One is powder, one is cream.
Oh.
Which side do you think you would use first?
Cream?
That's what I thought. But apparently you use the powder one first and use the cream to like highlight / blend it in. Yeah, that's like the Patrick Ta way to do it.
Okay.
But I'm like, are you just inventing things now? Even though they don't make sense? Because usually you put powder on top to set it.
Yeah. What does the powder do under it? Maybe it creates a base.
It has to, right?
Like a dry base?
Yeah, I guess they both work standalone, but they're together because he's like, oh,
what made you buy it?
I needed a new, so I was still using my NARS blush from 5 years ago.
Yeah, I have a NARS compact from a long time
Yeah,
ago.
and for some reason, I feel like I wear blush every day, but it doesn't go away. Like, I feel like I haven't even hit the bottom yet.
Best investment.
Right? But I was getting sick of the color, and I was like, I need something new. I need some retail therapy in my life. So I bought that, and then I couldn't understand it, so I watched some videos, and I'm like, what?
Did you feel like it was better when you applied it that way?
It was more pigmented.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool to see my face in a different color. But I feel like if you blend it out enough, everything kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
Unless you have
I use Merit
orange.
right now.
Oh, is it a cream?
Yeah, it's like it looks like a little mound. And so I usually just like apply it directly and then like rub it with my fingers.
Like those old lip balms are really popular.
Yes.
The round ones.
Yeah, probably not very hygienic.
Okay, my last thing is, who knew Bath and Body Works after all these years would still be surviving and thriving at the mall?
Are they thriving?
Well, the one in Valley Fair at least is huge. And they seem to be, I don't know if it's full, but they haven't,
They're still there.
They're still there. Yeah, the fact that they're still there.
Country apple. Mine, I think I like cucumber melon.
That was a popular one. Was it sweet pea also? Or peony something was really popular?
Yeah. I didn't love like the flowery ones as much.
Oh, I love the
I like the
flowery
fresh, crisp ones.
Oh, yes, you do. And they kind of upgraded themselves to be more farmhousey, like even more so.
Oh, I think I kind of see that.
But can you believe
I've
they're
never been
still
inside.
around? Like, I remember going there all the time in middle school and gifting hand sanitizers to our friends for their birthdays.
Interesting. I wonder if they've like innovated in any way. Because there's so much more education and knowledge about smells, like scents and stuff, and if it's toxic or not.
Right. I don't know. I think people just like the way it smells. It's intoxicating. But who still
They're
needs like
still around.
5 for $30?
Abercrombie, I feel like
They've
doing
rebranded.
Well. They've
yeah,
done well.
They've done.
I feel like they're lucky because like something AF has become so popular as a saying, and they're AF. Oh. So I think they have like a soft AF sweatshirt. Like good for them.
And they have cute clothes too.
They do. I have some Abercrombie.
Yeah,
stuff.
me too. I bought a bunch of their stuff when I was pregnant.
Never wore it in high school, I think.
Oh.
Or is that when it was?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And in college too.
I never really did. And then I think I had like one pair of like baggy pants from them. That's it.
And now
I buy it.
Now it's a mom brand.
Mom, yeah. They didn't know.
All right. Well, thanks for listening with us.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.